suffering from bad teammates and just matchmaking slapping you right into the face? Then how about making life easier with playing the most broken champions in WildRift? But before we hop into the video, we are doing a massive giveaway on multiple platforms. Just become a member today, it doesn't matter which tier, and you automatically participate in the giveaway. For another giveaway, check out the links in the description below for X. And if you want the highest chances of winning a skin, become a diamond member on Patreon. In the long run, you won't regret it and you have the highest chances of winning because not as many people are subscribed there yet. At least as of now. So, best of luck to all of you. We draw the winners on the 25th of December. And now let's talk about the most broken champions to carry in WildRift. We'll start with Karma in the support role. All the changes to Karma and the buffs to items and changes to items make her a very powerful pick that is one of the best picks if you want to reliably carry your teammates. She features amazing poke, amazing damage, and just amazing utility with the help of Harmonic Echoes and Luden's Echo combined. Not only this, she's also a very good set-upper with a second ability once it's empowered because it guarantees that you'll hit all of your spells including your enchantment media. Another champion who is infamous for her laning dominance is Caitlyn. This champion can win lane completely on her own even if the support is griefing, which is very good because you know how it goes in the dragon lane. Not only this, she's also very well in terms of scaling, and once we get into mid to late game, this champion takes over very brutally. She also features a very good tool of self-peel with the power of her second ability, the traps. When the enemy has any type of movement spell, you can place the traps between both of you and then the enemy movement spell will be cancelled. They'll be stuck in that trap and they can't reach you, which will then allow you to deal damage to them. Not only this, you also have very good tools against stealth champions. Your ultimate reveals them until they're getting hit by the spell, which allows you to reveal the kha'zix if he jumps into your team. Not only this, the traps will also help tremendously when it comes to objective control. Entering a teamfight or a situation against you like an objective is very difficult for them and will get them killed because your headshot damage is absolutely absurd. And well, there's a bug with the Runans, or well, a feature, which allows you to hit the enemy literally 10 billion kilometers outside of your screen if they have the headshot effect on them. Because then the headshot range is your new auto attack range for one auto attack, and then every champion within that range is being scanned and then hit by Runan's Hurricane, up to 2 targets. If you want to have fast games where you can dominate the enemy straight from the get-go, then the champion Lee Sin is your pick of choice. Having moderate mechanics or just getting better at the champion will allow you to consistently carry games by understanding how much more aggression you can put out there. Number 1 though, let's understand the full clear approach. Your champion can full clear in 138, roughly if you do it well, and then with that in mind you hit 5 of the Scuttle Crab and go for a kill absolutely for free since you're level 5 and the enemy will be level 4, at least in terms of laning. And if you face an enemy jungler, you will just beat them down. Not only this, you also have the ability to invade the enemy pretty much easily since you have so much mobility and damage early game. If you get close enough with your first ability, the escape path for the enemy is, well, it really doesn't exist. Oh yeah, and invest into the Overgrowth rune because this rune will make you so much tankier and allows you to just get so many stats for free. However, for the late game with Lee Sin, you have to be more mechanically gifted or at least aware of the situation to make very clutch and decisive decisions in the split of a second. If that sounds a little bit too troublesome for you, then how about playing some Draven? This glorious executioner will want to have anything in his way once he gets fat, and with the changed BT, he will do so even more reliably. In the mid lane, there is literally no champion that can set up to this champion unless you want to count in mages that don't interact with him at all, which is, well, probably the best course of action against him. However, if he gets ahead slightly, which he will, and there are any skirmishes in the river, he'll completely snowball the game through Narnia. His damage potential is absolutely obscene, his snowball potential is crazy, and his carry potential is through the roof. And if you're curious as to how to play him, then just check out the video we recently did on him and just get a few pointers here and there and understand what you can do with the minion wave, how you can snowball, and how you can push your leads with Draven. The next champion doesn't really need a lead at all, and it's kha'zix. Whenever you see this champion on the enemy team, you already know it's gonna be a problem, simply for the fact that people will always int into him. It's like the Evelynn incidents, and I could also count Evelynn here. But for kha'zix, this champion is probably the easiest jungler to pilot, yet the most rewarding jungler to pilot at least, well, decently well. This champion allows the probably worst players to climb for free, and I've done so myself. I've done so in the very distant past. In Season 3, I had Challenger with this champion on 80% win rate when this champion was absolutely broken, and ever since he only got nerfed. But the item changes, and everything that's in the game, the matchmaking changes, make this champion so goddamn reliable. And you can even now consistently take your Wing Evolve on the second evolve timer because the enemies are grotesque inters. It sounds really crazy, but this champion's damage and potential is just so unmatched in solo queue. And you really don't put yourself on a timer like you would do on the Lee Sin, and it's so much easier to pilot. So if you want to pick up a jungler that's probably the most broken jungler in the game in the sense of investing time and getting a big reward, then it's kha'zix. The next champion is Yone, and Riot really buffed him through the roof. Many people believe that the 5 armor and the little bit of shielding he got is not really that much, but trust me, it is quite a lot of sustainability during the lane. In a lot of physical damage matchups, he was struggling quite a bit because he wasn't tanky enough. Now with his shielding being so much stronger and getting base armor, which is something you have from level 1 onwards, life might be very miserable for the opponents. On the PC version, this version of Yone is even more stronger, and you saw him picked in the world stage and he completely dominated everything. Our Yone version isn't as strong yet, but we are on a good way to get there. And ladies and gentlemen, maybe Hullbreaker Yone will be a thing simply for the stats of the item. Oh yeah, and you can play Yone in the Baron lane and jungle. So even though the jungle role got quote-unquote a tiny bit of a nerf with the first ability only dealing 80% damage, it's not the end of this champion. He is still very strong. The next champion is a brutal carry when it comes to WildRift, and it's Vladimir. Starting the game with an annoying healing spell and damage spell, he combines everything you want a mage and an assassin to have. The ability to sustain, wipe the entire team, and even being able to sidelane. This champion's potential is completely unmatched, and he just takes over games once he gets to 2 items. And the only thing that kind of limits him is ability haste. He has gotten nerfed by Riot, but it wasn't enough and he's still going very strong. The mastery curve and the item build improvements that have happened to this champion are just so massive that even now he's probably the best mid lane mage possible. Another insanely powerful blind pick is Xayah. This champion's laning phase is insane. Her damage potential, her nuke potential, everything her self-peel, just the overall teamfight presence are so insanely high that I honestly believe that this champion should get a slight nerf at least in the near future. Thematically speaking, she should be very good into engage supports or just engage team compositions, but even now you can basically pick her into any scenario because people struggle dealing with her and don't really understand how you can avoid being rooted or just being one-tapped by this champion. Oh yeah, and since she's an AD carry, you can play her in the Dragon lane, in the mid lane, and even in the Baron lane. But in the Baron lane, it's a little bit harder because you don't really have an escape spell. The second most overtuned support champion on this list is going to be Pyke. So whenever you're feeling like to put in a cheat code, just lock in Pyke. Pyke is a champion that just feasts on the enemy's mistakes, similar to Kha'Zix, but he requires a little bit more finesse. But his tankiness is quite high since his base stats are absurdly powerful. Not only this, he has so much health regeneration thanks to his grey health that if you take second wind, it's almost impossible to die in the dual lane unless you truly want to or your teammate wants you to die. But your primary goal is to accelerate the map and just completely wreak havoc with the stealth spell you have. So grab your Duskblade, get some resets, and enjoy the free LP printing machinery once you learn this Pyke champion. One of my new favorites is Samira. This champion is very powerful, and she's very good in the Dragon lane. She's very decently powerful in the jungle due to her fast clear and being an AD carry, so she's hyperscaling. She's a bully in the Baron lane, so she's very cool to play. But if there's one thing you really want to have on your team when you lock in this champion, it is going to be engage. The moment you have any type of engage support, be it Leona, Nautilus, or Alistair, like literally anything, you can completely wipe the enemy team once you understand how to do your combo properly. If you get close, they completely get blown up within a second, and your reset mechanic on your third ability will make it so easy for you to run them down, similar to a Tristana. But in all honesty, we all know that this list could be so much longer, so I'll do another 10 OP picks video in this cycle. So thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget about the giveaways, there are so many going on, so if you want a skin, just participate, you have a very high chance of winning, and see you in the next RiftGuides WildRift video.